Hey there, Mike in Detroit. How you doing? Yesterday, I made a video on dominant chord workouts, and we worked on some things like this, that kind of thing. Now, I got a little feedback on that, and they said, George, that's a lot. That's a lot. You got anything for us beginners? And I do. I do. A while ago, I made a video about upper structure triads. So I'm going to bring that back just for these dominant chords because I know that these dominant chords are a lot to get your head around. The flat nines, the sharp nines, it is blah 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 blah. So I am going to enlarge this so that you can see it better, right? Way down there. So now you can see it. So you pause this and copy this down from my iPad. Don't worry, I'll make it make sense here in just a second. But hit pause, take a screenshot or write it down or however. I'm not that savvy enough to make a PDF so you could just download it. But there it is. There it is. So write it down or take a screenshot or however you young people do your technology. But I'm going to move this a little bit out of the way so I can show you what it sounds like on the keyboards. So we're going to work off C7 chords, but of course you get this in any key you want. So we're going to play shells in our left hand. You don't need to see my hands, just watch my virtual keyboard. So the shell is here. That's the tritone of a C7. Just to make sure we hear how it sounds, we're going to add the C, and maybe we'll play this, or maybe we'll play this. But that's what the left hand is doing. Now, if I play a two major triad against that, I'll get that C7. There's a 9, there's a sharp 11, and there's a 13. I'll get that sound. So instead of wrapping my head around this, all I do is play some kind of shell. Fine, here's 1, 2, play a triad, and I'll get that. I'll cheat. It's a hack. It's a hack. I said cheat. I'm cheating here. Now once I know I'm playing a D triad over C7, then any old D triad will work. And you'll still get that, you'll end up with that C7 sharp 11 sound. So that's the first one. Okay, so you work this out in different keys, and I'll do one for you. So here is F. Let's check F. We need F third and the flat 7. What is the 2 of F? Well, G is. So I need a G triad in my right hand. And I'm going to get that sharp 11 sound. F7 wants to go to, it resolves to B flat, right? All day and twice on Sunday. But it's a sneaky way to get those sounds without exploding your head with all the high numbers. Okay, the next one says E flat over C7. So let's see what that sounds like. Let's put going back to C. Now clearly that's going to give me a sharp 9. There's a 9. There's a sharp 9 sound. Let's resolve that. Let's hear it again. Not my favorite, but okay. And not my favorite voicing. Now let's try it in a different version. Let's try this. Okay, I'm on C7. Okay, I like that voicing a little bit better. Okay, so that gives you the C7 sharp 9 sound. E flat. So how do I get that? Always know the relationship to what the triad you're playing. So I'm playing an E flat to the root of the. So I'm on. That's a flat 3. Just in case I want to play that in a different key, now I know whatever root I'm playing, I go to the flat 3 and play a triad there. Okay, so the next one is a G flat over G. Love this one. What does that give me? That gives me a C7 flat 9 sharp 11. There's the flat 9. There's the sharp 11. So just remember now, you have to remember either flat 5 or sharp 4. Flat 5, let's call it a flat 5. G flat over C. Now I could, as I'm going to repeat this, but I can do any inversion of that G flat chord. That's one of my favorites. A flat over, the next one is A flat over C7. What does that give me? That gives me a sharp 9 and a sharp 5. One of my favorite chords. So we were talking about sharp 5, sharp 9s yesterday. We voiced it a little differently. But he said, whew, that's a lot. My beginner said, okay, my head is exploding. Okay, use the hack. You want a sharp 5, sharp 9, just put A flat over C7. You got it. So you can call that a flat 6. That's what I would call it. Go to the 6, flat that. We'll flat. Again, you're going to want to play this against in other keys. So you want to know that's a flat 6 triad over its bass. In the key of C, that would be A flat over C7. And that resolves to so that's how you get a sharp 9, sharp 5 chord. Just go to the flat 6 and play a triad. Now, we did it this way the other day, yesterday. But you can do it this way. You get almost the identical sound without all the headaches. Okay, so the next one, I'm just going down this list. The next one is a C7 flat 9. I'm going to get that by playing A chord over, that's a nice one too, an A major over C bass. That's a nice one. That's very dramatic. So A is a 6, so you're thinking whatever my bass is, whatever key I'm in, I'm going to go to the 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, play a triad there. I happen to play that in first inversion just to keep things close. But as I said, 7 times, any inversion will work. Some inversions work better than others because see how this take advantage of that. So that inversion actually worked a lot better than take advantage of that chromaticism if you can. But if I was in another inversion, it still works. But the chromaticism is inside the chord. But I can just invert till I get there. That's a good one. Okay, so the next one is C minor over bass, which is flat 3, 1 minor, 1 minor over bass. And that gives me a sharp 9 and pretty much nothing else. Pretty, I kind of like it. I see it as way more daintier. It's only one alteration. I like it. Okay, so that's the next one. That's a 1 minor over bass. Here is a flat 2 minor over bass, which is D flat minor, which is that gives me a flat 9 and a flat 13. Here's a flat 9 and here's the flat 13. That's just a third in there. Oh, that's way more crunchier than this one. I can go here. That's the last one. That's a little crunchy. I can crunch it up some more. And then resolve it. So I have a D flat minor over bass, which is a flat 2. You always want to compare. So D flat minor. Nice. How about the next one is an E flat minor, which is over bass. So we have this. Another nice one. Gives me the sharp 9, sharp 11, sharp 9, sharp 11. Now, when you're going down this list, first learn them. But you can do combinations. Let's do this. I just put 2 of them together. Or I can, we get my bass back together. Put 3 or 4 of them together. It's a way to hack these dominant chords. Actually, if you listen to workout on dominant chords, do both of these because there's a lot of ways to manipulate these dominant chords. Okay, we're almost at the end of the list. We got 2 more to go. We got our bass and we got an F sharp minor, which is that gives me a C7 flat 9 sharp 11 again. There's the sharp 11. And it's got a 13 in there too. There's the 13. And there's the flat 9. That's a nice one. That's an F sharp minor. So let's do that. Make sure we know the inversions. That 2 will resolve very nicely. Now C7 sus. That's here's our bass, and then we need a B flat over that. So where is B flat? That is a flat 7 triad over bass. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ways to manipulate this bass chord to give you different sounds. And I kind of try to demonstrate what they sound like. So now what I'm going to do is just in case you didn't get it, let me blow this up again so that you can see it better. Copy these down. Remember that here's the sound you're going to get. This column here that says a chord. That's the resultant sound you're going to get. In your left hand, it looks like I have written down tritones, but you can play a C, B flat as well. You're going to get pretty much the same sound. And then here is the triad you're going to be playing in the right hand, right? And here, just in case you don't know for you, here's the notes of those that triad. And remember, any inversion of that triad will work against this. And so you're going to put a bass in your left hand. You're going to put this triad in your right hand, and you're going to get that sound. Okay? Comment down below if that's helpful for you. I think I made a video of this, but it was a year ago, so you don't have to fix it. Here it is again. Put it together with that dominant chord workout, and then I think you guys will be locked and loaded. All right, Mike in Detroit. Hope that was helpful for you. Take care. Bye-bye.